Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Finally I had a chance to compare the VW Golf Sportwagen Performance stock versus Neuspeed Power Module versus Burger Motorports JB1 piggyback. These little devices cost you $400 or less. You hook them up to your car, they intercept the boost signal, they override the boost signal, and they're supposed to basically give you more performance out of your car. I forgot exactly what the manufacturers are stating on their website. Doesn't really matter, because we got the real world results coming up for you in just a moment. So stay tuned. I hope you like this video. Give me a couple of comments if you've got anything to say. I'm sure you do. You know, everybody's always opinionated. Subscribe, like the video, share it. Yeah, hopefully you get something out of it and this helps you make up your mind. But definitely these piggy banks are pretty sweet, so stay tuned for the comparison. Alright guys, first of all I want to give you a little bit of my personal impression on the Neuspeed Power Module versus the JB1, just to give you an idea of what I feel like I felt putting these things on my car. The Neuspeed Power Module, you can see it in the numbers, definitely makes a difference. And I don't know whether VW underrated this car. You know, some people would say that the wheel horsepower, the wheel torque might be 15, 20, maybe 25 or even 30% lower than what is actually at the crank. So you figure that out. But at the end of the day, we know that with the Neuspeed Power Module we made significantly better numbers to the wheels. And in a moment I'm going to show you how that actually looks with the JB1. But the Neuspeed Power Module, I really liked it. It made me want to actually go further down the rabbit hole, try a couple of others, just because I thought, wow, this actually makes a difference. How do the others compare? So with the Neuspeed Power Module, I was happy at first. However, the car started throwing a couple of check engine lights. So first time this actually happened was when I was at the dyno. And usually you just turn the car off, turn it back on, and it'll be fine. But then I guess maybe it's because throughout the year it got warmer. So I was happy with the Neuspeed Power Module. However, I started getting check engine lights. So the first one I got when I put the car in the dyno for the first time. And then that was in March. And then after that it started happening quite a lot in July, in April, in May, and I think in June. And then I took the Neuspeed Power Module off. I took it off because I actually had to take the car to the dealership, I think. Got another service done. But basically the car started having check engine lights. Now the remedy to this, the fix was really easy. All you gotta do is turn the car off, turn it back on, and you're good to go. But it puts the car in a limp mode, and it was kind of a pain. So then with the JB1, I drove without any modifications to the car for probably almost 2 months. Finally I went in July and I had the stock dyno done, and after that I came home, car was still hot, and I put that JB1 on there right away. And I think right away that afternoon when I drove the car, I could tell the difference. I could tell the difference of the JB1 versus just driving stock. The car just responded so much better. Now the nice thing with the JB1 is you also have a couple of different options. If you can put a couple of different maps on there depending on whether you are running an ethanol kit or if you have other bolt-ons. So that's pretty cool. You can also do your own, which may or may not be recommended depending on your level of expertise. So put the JB1 on, and I'm going to start showing the chart here so you can kind of see what we're talking about. But pretty much that JB1 blows the Neuspeed Power Module out of the water. There's really no competition. Let me tell you some of these numbers here. Stock, the car did 155 horsepower. With the Neuspeed Power Module, peak horsepower was 168. So that's about an increase of 13 horsepower or 8%. With the JB1, the car did a peak horsepower of 187, which is ultimately an increase at the wheels of 32 horsepower, which translates to 20% of the stock dyno that we did. So the JB1 gave me peak torque horsepower of 20% more versus stock, and it pretty much gave me, well, the Neuspeed Power Module did 8% over stock. So, I mean, obviously there's a 12% difference. It's huge, absolutely huge. When we're talking about torque, also here the JB1 doesn't disappoint. Torque stock, the car has 179 foot-pounds of torque. With the Neuspeed Power Module, that number got bumped to 199. That's a fantastic increase. Nothing to complain about there. With the JB1, we got up to a 205 foot-pounds of torque, which is a 15% increase over the stock figures. I think that's pretty awesome. And again, that's with the JB1. I haven't had any issues whatsoever with the JB1. I haven't had any check engine lights, nothing like that. So it's been very reliable. It's been really fun to drive. And if you look at that torque or the horsepower curve, you see that horsepower jump right away. And I think altogether the JB1 numbers are just a little bit nicer. Pretty much both of them cost the same amount of money. So what I would recommend is, for sure, go with the JB1. Now they have a JB4, which is even sweeter. I haven't tried it out. Gonna test it out. If you want to give me some money to get that and get the dyno done, send it my way. I take bitcoins or whatever. But yeah, JB1, fantastic. I love it. I can recommend it. I hope this video isn't too shaky. I hope you like the dyno charts and the comparisons. But yeah, so much for these dyno runs and these little piggy banks. I think for the money that you're spending on these things, you can easily take it off, so you're not really foregoing your warranty. That's pretty awesome. It's a little easy do-it-yourselfer. You can't go wrong. You absolutely can't go wrong. And if you're cheap like me, instead of spending 400 bucks on these units, you might be able to get it for half the price if you're willing to wait. I wouldn't want to wait though, honestly. After driving it, I wouldn't want to wait. I would get one of those JB1s, JB4s right away and start having fun with the car. Alright, that's it for me. Here's a couple of videos on the dyno run. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Red one, the torque being the one that comes up the soonest. Red one will be today. Green one was when you came back last time. Blue one was the first round.
Okay. Yeah. So the blue one, that was a Neuspeed or a Neuspeed, I don't know how you pronounce it. Yeah. But with that one, after some time, and maybe it's because it got warmer in the year, but I had several times the check engine light would come on, or whatever it is that they have, and you know, the car would go into limp mode.
Yeah.
And with this other one that I have now,
it doesn't do that anymore.
No. And this other one, actually, it allows you to change the maps a little bit on it. So if you were to have other accessories, or even they sell like an ethanol kit.
Yeah.
Then you can
put it on there, and
it's just kind of neat. So, okay.
Well, we'll shut it off, let it cool down for 15-20 minutes or so, and then.
Okay.